excited, kind of smash sales records. So we've had the opportunity to go back in and really polish it up, get it ready for a high definition release on Xbox One, remaster the animations, add a bunch of new content, add new music from our composer Jesper Kit, and then bundle it with the add-ons that we originally released for it, Breakdown and Lifeline, and release it as the definitive Xbox version of State of Decay.
What led you to the concept behind the game, the survival concept, I guess?
You know, really, State of Decay started many years ago with just casual conversation. A lot of friends who were developers and we would go see zombie movies and go out and have a beer afterwards. And, you know, inevitably everybody would kind of talk about their own survival strategy. What would you do, right? You know, well, I'd commandeer one of the Washington State ferries and go out into Puget Sound and just kind of live on an island out there. Or, you know, I'd go to Costco and board up all the windows and have all the supplies I ever needed. And, you know, there's strengths and weaknesses to all those plans, and we would just kind of debate all the time. And we finally realized, man, that's the premise for just an awesome game, right? Not a run around and shoot zombies game, but one where you actually get to live out your own survival fantasy. And so what we're trying to do with State of Decay is take the first step towards really realizing that ultimate vision of just giving you complete freedom in the world to lay out your own survival.
Are there any like references or homages to zombie movies or any other zombie media out there?
Oh yeah, some of them very explicit. Some of them just peppered throughout the game as Easter eggs. If you read, you know, State of Decay is a fully realized virtual world. Every building you can go in, every house has a full interior. All the buildings on Main Street you can go in, and they have all the signage and paperwork and everything you would associate with kind of a normal functioning town. And when you start reading, for example, who's running for mayor, or look at the safety signs on the walls or the billboards sprinkled throughout the world, you'll find little references to existing zombie canon just everywhere.
And sometimes online I see people expressing zombie fatigue, and yet your game is done really, really well. So
Yeah.
do you think that zombie fatigue is a real thing, or is it just the gameplay stands out enough that it doesn't matter?
I think any successful genre has fatigue. You know, fantasy certainly has fatigue. You know, lots of incarnations of sci-fi have fatigue. Certainly zombie has fatigue. But what that means is that the bar is high to bring a new experience to the table, right? Whether I'm making a zombie game or a fantasy game or any other kind of game, at this point there are so many great games in every genre. If you're going to go in there and do something, you better be bringing something new. And I think what really made State of Decay stand out is that it's not really a zombie game. It's a survival fantasy game. Zombies happen to be the antagonist here, but this is not a game that's about the horror of the zombie outbreak. This is a game that's about you and the other survivors in the game working together to live.
Nice. Let's talk about the Xbox One version. Give me a little summary of the downloadable content that you bundled with it.
Yeah, so State of Decay released in June 2013. We followed up with Breakdown, which was our first add-on that was, I believe, in November of 2013. And that took all the simulation and sandbox elements of the game and kind of put them in pure form, where your goal is just to survive as long as you can. So whereas the original game had a story that you lived through, this one was just focusing more on the mechanics of the game. It's kind of a play as far as you can experience. And then we followed up in May 2014 with Lifeline, which was a look at the game from a military perspective. A little bit of a different mechanic representation of the game. We've taken both Breakdown and Lifeline and added them into the game, and that's all part of the Year 1 Survival Edition.
Can you tell us about the technical improvements?
Yeah, that's actually been where the bulk of our work went. Obviously, there's the technical challenge of taking something that was originally developed for 360 and moving it over to the Xbox One. But beyond that, we really wanted to address some of the things that really we wish we could have done in the first one. We increased the draw distance, which isn't just a graphical improvement when you're looking at a game where you're surviving the zombie apocalypse. Being able to see those little zombies way off in the distance moving around becomes really important. So we put a lot of work into that, a lot of work into improving just texture quality, animation quality across the board. And then of course Xbox One brings a whole host of new exciting features to the table for us, like game DVR. One of the things that people did with the original game was, you know, they always wanted to share the moment that Marcus died, that lead character, because it's a turn death game. You know, it was always a big event when your first character died. And so maybe you happen to catch that on a Twitch stream. Well, now what we do is we just automatically record every character death and put it in your game DVR library. So you have those